Check, check, 1, 2. Yeah, here we are. And let's go. So, yeah, welcome everybody to the stream. Thank you for showing up today. I thought we'll do a design live stream for a change. Just because I had many people already requesting that. And yeah, I need to do the design for the next Cisalpina anyway. So let's just try and see if I can make a good and entertaining design live stream. I'm not very well prepared, so this is pretty realistic today. I don't have a clear idea in my head. We will try out different things, just as you would design a car. You try things out, things don't work, you start over. And yeah, I hope to somehow spend 2.5 hours maybe, and then be somewhat finished with the design. We'll see if that also would include interior or not. But that's about what I estimate we need for a somewhat decent design today. So yeah, I hope you all had a very nice week so far. I had a pretty busy week and I'm pretty much done for this week already, even though I have another business trip tomorrow. But yeah, let's relax today and then start into the weekend very soon. One thing I wanted to let you know is I'm currently streaming and recording at the same time, because I of course want to use the footage later for the official campaign video. In case you experience any screen stutters or any issues in the stream, then let me know, then I will just cancel the recording and I will somehow get the video file later from YouTube. Alright, so what are we doing today? We need a successor for the Cidue, and the Cidue basically was the spiritual successor to the Rivetto, the very original first car. So the Cidue, as you see, was kind of a bloated ex-Formula 2 car. Bit of, yeah, just some kind of way out of the crisis that we had by spending too much money on racing, and then we just slapped some fenders on there and made the chassis a bit wider and put 2 seats in there, and then we had a nice light sports and track car. So this is what I want to do again, but probably without the open wheels. This is what I tried out. Can I get some kind of open wheel style going without completely having to work in 3D? And I didn't find a very good solution there. I wanted to have something like a very basically covered normal front and then let it taper into the rear and have open wheel rear and kind of an exposed rear with the engine in the back. That's what I want to do at some point, but probably not for this generation because it's just too much work right now and I'm not in the mood for 3D work. So this is something for the future. So I'd say let's check out the Rivetto again. I'm currently in the company museum here. And let's choose the very first Rivetto that we had, the 750. And somehow make it a spiritual successor to this one. So with a very angled front here, so very round shapes. Round headlights, maybe we can reuse some of the grille. The rear was not very inspired, some fixture didn't really load in here. Cannot change that right now. So a cutout didn't work, but that's not a big problem. So let's try maybe to make a modern version of this. So a light sports car, cheap. I don't want to do the engineering in detail today. I just want to focus on design. And then let's go. And now I've done a lot of talking and didn't pay attention to the chat. So sorry for that. Am I truly from Bayern? Yes, I am. I am, but not living there anymore right now. Alright. Then, yeah, I have already an idea what body I want to use. This is what I tried out before. And let's focus on either light sports or track. I'd say for the beginning to really make something without many oh no, let's go for light sports. We will use a small factory for that one. So it's for our Cisalpina levels its mass production. So that's basically that means we need to make it somewhat viable for larger markets. Where I'm living in Cologne right now. So yeah, second gen or third gen Rivetto. Basically the G2 was a spiritual successor to the Rivetto already, light sports car. So we are currently here, and I didn't really check if we already have the body available. It would be bad if I need to do some campaign, but I think it should be down there somewhere. I want to use not this 911 body, but the other more modern, more new 911 body, this one, and make it not look like a Porsche. So let's see. This is a hatchback version, this is convertible versions. We'll start with this one. And I have to do some basic stuff now just to make the car complete. For now I choose the normal Cisalpina Formula space frame. I don't know if you will have the money for a medium factory and monocoque, but that would be pretty nice. For now I also say mid-transfers and light and simple and basic stuff, so I for now go for McPherson struts. Also give us some space here in the engine bay. And for now I just choose an existing engine, and it looks like they all don't fit transversely. Okay, so let's go back and use longitudinal. Really would love to have a transverse engine in this one. Why don't they fit? It's just not a good one for mid-engine probably. So let's choose rear. The original Rivetto was front-engined, but with the G2 we went for the rear or mid-engine, and that's what I want to do as well. So now we can do it. Let's use the 1.5 liter inline 4, and this is the most recent version. It's the street car version, so let's just select this one just as a placeholder, and I will just finish. Oh, Gills, you are completely insane. This is the first super chat that I have on my channel. Thank you very much for that. I really hope you are already earning your own money and not studying or something, because I don't want your money when you're studying and you could spend that money on your education. Thank you so much for that. This will be after YouTube takes their cut, 2 coffees maybe. So thank you very much. Yeah, let me quickly thank you also for the nice message. I just read it. Okay, hard-earned cash. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll just quickly slap something together, make it a 2-seater. Sport, none. Entertainment for now. We don't care about the score. Yeah, probably safety will be a big issue for this car. And of course also it's rear engine, so tires will be a big issue. Just make the tires somewhat viable so that we know how the car looks like. Yeah, so something like this could work. Alright. Also make it a little bit lower. We can use smaller tires. We need to save weight as always, so reducing tire size is also an option here. Okay, so that will be our starting point, and now let's head into the design. Do I like the idea of a cabrio coupe? Something like a Miata NB. So you mean basically a hardtop convertible? I think I actually like that a lot, because I don't like convertibles with cloth roof. So I liked the hardtop coupes that convertibles that were on the market for quite some time in a certain period, like also BMW Z4 or C4 as the Americans say. I like that one as well, but normally I'm more the coupe enjoyer and not the convertible enjoyer. So then, now let's morph it. This is a very important step to make it not look like a Porsche, and also to get closer to the body shape that we had with the Rivetto. I do something very rough here in the beginning, and then use the slider. So this one would be Porsche, of course. Let's not do that. There's some kind of morph here where I can pull that one out a little bit more. So I want to have that round shape a lot more. We will clean that up a little bit later. And I'm not sure if we will keep the roof or if I will chop it off. I definitely want to have one version with it which is a convertible or a roadster again, but this one will be, today we'll do the coupe version. Maybe I do a custom roof just to make it less look like a Porsche, but we will find that out in a minute. To somewhat give it the fenders of the G2, let's use a little bit of the flare here, and then bring the wheels out just a little bit. The early cars, now we're in the mid-70s of course, so we can use a little bit more there. Early cars always had stuff like this in the 50s. But here we can do something like this, I think. Definitely, maybe even a bit more. Yeah, so that's it. Then let's give it color. Like, did I make a new Cisalpina red? Is this the updated one? I think it is. So let's use this. Just checking out the chat in the meantime a little bit. Might have missed a few messages again. Hi Empty Head, good to see you. And then, as always, first step is to choose some kind of rims that would fit. So let's take a look at the 70s, 80s sports section. I always like these. Normally, let's check if there's something more. So the general idea is to have a track and light sports car, not too prestigious, more like you can really use it on the track, and then it should also look like that, that you can really race it wheel to wheel. If you bump into somebody, not everything's broken. So we need some nice bumpers probably as well. Make it look like it's simple to fix and repair. So that's the general idea. Let's see if we can achieve that. This could also work. So definitely it would have. Did I choose Max here? Yeah, Max. I think those could be made from magnesium, maybe. Not the expert there. Could also use some kind of like these and make it in a different paint, but those look more like steel wheels, I think. So let's, I think, go with this one for now. Just checking if we have another option. Standard sports, let's take a look here. Not too convinced. No. The back button doesn't work. So let's choose those again. Those with the 4 screws instead of the 5. Yeah, it's like mini light. Very fitting for a light sports car, I guess, and also for the period. Still okay, I think, for the 70s. It will be released some point in the late 70s, so I hope those are fine. All right, then let's do the fine morphing of the body. So you can enable that UI here. And then we just can go through all of the sliders and we will not miss a certain option. So front side is like this. Yeah, it's not that important, I think. Like this it looks a little bit older, like this maybe a little bit more modern. Let's choose something in between. I don't want to have a pronounced bumper, we will add that. So this looks very much 90s already. We will add a fixture as a bumper. Yeah, for the roof I'm not 100% sure yet, because maybe we will chop it off. The boot is very important. So not make it too Porsche-like. I want to have same kind of rounding like here, maybe. The rear is already as short as possible. Want to make it short and light. This is the C-pillar here. I'm not really sure with this roof. This might be difficult. Same with the rear bumper. Let's use a fixture for that. Fender we already tried out. Okay. So then rear bumper lower. Still, currently it still looks too much Porsche-like, I think. So definitely it will just be a two-seater. We can use some of the hood. I think already that longer hood makes it less look like a Porsche. By the way, we chose exactly the wheelbase of the second generation 911. That's a 2.2 meter. So it really was that tiny, and we definitely should not take a bigger one. So that's more like MGB style, but I don't like, if we keep that roof, then I don't like how sharp that angle is. Here is the B pillar. Front length is already as short as possible. The rocker is that one. Let's pull it in a little bit. The rear height, I need to get that one up a little bit. First front bumper detail, it's a little bit all over the place. Can raise the height here a little bit, probably also in the rear. Yep. And we are almost through with the morphing and can start working on the design. So you see we can already spend lots of time here just detailing the shape. So here again, as the original Rivetto, I want to have it as flat as possible to make it look simple. Very rectangular shape basically from the front. The rear bumper detail. Okay, we can make it wider in general. We want to do that. Is it too bulky then? Let's go with this. That's the fender detail for the lights. We will not use that. And then we have 3 more to go. Okay, that's the big fender and the rear. Then we have the roof height. Okay, done. Still a little bit Porsche-like, but also a little bit different. And now for the very first thing, because it will be an important decision, I want to do the roof job and see if I can fit something that really works. So we will use here in the body molding section a cutout. And this helps us to cut away certain things. Just like this. Then we can paint the windows transparent. That helps as well. We can do the details later to get everything off, but for now I just want to quickly check if we have a different roof. So I have a roof mod here with different kinds of roofs. This is what I tried out already before the stream, if I can find some kind of roof. The old ones are too old and don't look nice. In the 70s to 80s there's nothing that really works with the shape here in the rear, and I think I had one that might work here in the 90s section. So I think it was the JDM one, the one that was the closest one, JDM Coupe maybe. Or let's just try it out if it would fit. 3D of course. So that's the front. I don't like that the paints are not on there. That's probably too modern looking. Italian supercar, and that's the 288 GTO. The problem is it has this long rear end. This doesn't really work as well. German coupe. What did I try? I don't really like what I see here. American stuff, no. And here you really can see this looks just too modern. That's just a windshield. That's the Bugatti EB 110. JDM supercar. That might actually be the one thing that could work. Let's work on this and just try it out. If not, we have to stick with what we have. I'm not 100% sure if that can fit. Probably a bit too low. So, really not sure. Then I clone this one. This you can do with shift click. Then I have another one, and then I can just select the rear. And it would look like this. And then I need to clone this one again and get the windshield. So this would be it. What do you think? Too modern? Well, I think so as well. Huh. So don't think 1970s, please think 1980s, because this car will be in production in 1978 or 1979. But it's probably too modern, yeah. I'll take a look in the 80s section again. too wide, but we can scale it later. Let's just take a look at the general shape. It's a bit more boxy. The rear is nice. I really like it, but we would need to angle everything. And this one is just a little bit long. Windows are too big. Yeah, it's also not scaled right yet. We can add another strut here, basically to make the window, the glass surface or that goes down smaller, of course. Feels wrong. Also, I would need to angle it. Probably something like this, 6 degrees. Let's angle the roof as well. Yeah, no, will not work. Oh god. Anything else in there? That's the BMW 2002. Probably could fit a little bit better. Still concerned then about the rear here. But I think it's the best one we had so far, yeah. Oh, and it actually sits almost nice. Need to make it a little bit more narrow. Yeah, so there's a bit of a problem here in the rear, of course. Need to somehow cover that. But it could work. Let's complete it. This would be it. Bit boxy. Feels too that feels too old. I don't know if the roof is too high because this is a tiny car. Let's place a human body right next to it. Where is it? So the proportions will be a bit weird because it's just so small. It's probably in here. Yeah. So this is a normal 1.80 m like thing. Well, let's see. There's actually this one. Normally I don't use these things, and I just work with my eyes, try to estimate it. So we definitely need that kind of roof height. It looks wrong. Yeah, I'm not too sure. And then this one is the M1, but this is too angular. I think we will just work with the standard roof. No, that will not work. The American stuff is not working as well. Okay, then let's just forget about it and try to make something nicer out of the roof. So we already achieved quite a lot. So what else can we do? So what about this? I think you don't immediately recognize the 911 shape. Although I'm not yet a real fan of the rear. Rear is too Porsche looking. Yeah, but there's not a good way around that. I think we can work out with the C-pillar here a little bit more. Oh no, that's just... So that's definitely Porsche-like. C-pillar width, that was what I was looking for. Then I can drag that in a little bit more, and we still have some C-pillar left. Flat out the rear, but then it's a sedan, and I don't want... The Rivetto was very... Yeah, we will have some plastic trim, at least for the bumpers. I was thinking about plastic to make it look a little bit cheaper. Like this. Let's start with this, right? It's not exactly what I had in mind, but let's go and then actually get going after half an hour of stream. Let's see what we can do. So for the headlights, either we go for something round like the Rivetto had, but again, danger of Porsche. And if we go for something like, if you watched the earlier videos like the Futurismo, so something like more rectangular shape. This is not exactly what the Futurismo had, I know. Just wanted to try something out here. It's a bit goofy, I think. Just want to try something out. And yeah, vertical doesn't work because they are so far set back then that it's a bit bad. Let's try. So for French cars, that would be right, I think, for the era already. It's a little bit large, of course. Let me see. So the Futurismo had things like this. So we could try to make something inset like this, although I don't like the separation here, and then put up a thing on top of that, a cover. Pop-ups, yeah, could definitely work on this body, but this is not what I had in mind for the car, because pop-ups always are a little bit especially back in that day, very supercar-like. And I don't think any cheap sports cars had pop-up headlights. Don't know if my memory serves me right here. What else do we have? Let's try something. Round ones like Opel GT. I think we have some Opel GT ones. Yeah, the round pop-ups. Yeah, the Opel GT actually was a cheap sports car. You're absolutely right. These look a little bit weird still. All kinds of. We can close them, of course. Oh no. And open they would look like. Right, no. So they should align to the horizon, right? They're not open enough. Why doesn't it work? Okay, no, that's not aligned to horizon as I wanted it. Yeah, so we definitely could not show it open. Small rear lip spoiler, maybe, yeah. But also again danger, Porsche Carrera RS ducktail. Want to try this one? No. We need to make them work in 3D. Round ones. This is the right one. Of course. Especially if we put them a little bit more into the rear, into the middle, then it doesn't look very Porsche-like. This one is on the side is very Porsche-like. Like this, proportions are a little bit different. We could also do something like this, and then put the bumper below that, but those are also too small. And these are. What's the concept behind this car? Yeah, currently I don't have a real concept. It should be a light sports car. Looking not the most expensive, a bit on the cheap side maybe. Not too Porsche-like, even though we use the Porsche body here. If I make that one and then put a cover on top. Maybe. Let's try with a bumper first. So definitely we need a bumper. Also the Gasmians want to have bumpers in that day. And I think I don't want to have indicators or anything in the bumper, because if this thing is taken to the track, if people are racing and they don't always want to break the indicators. So I am normally a big fan of this bumper. Not exactly this one, but those come in different curvatures. And then let's paint it matte plastic for now. Is it too much? I can also do that in 3D and push it back a little bit. The brand's design language is a little bit on the cheap side, I'd say. very much rounded shapes, bit Italian looking. Sometimes a bit of a mix between Italian, French, and maybe British. Just trying out things. I don't want to copy too much from other things. So here I go for the grill texture and then move it up a bit. And I think we have a little bit of an issue there, that these lights are not 100% flush. We'll have to look over that, I think. And then let's make it transparent. Yeah, I'm planning to go all the way to the modern years, of course. But we'll see if I'm quick enough before the old game build will be taken away from us. We probably will not be able to transfer this campaign let's play to the new build, because the campaign will change quite a bit. Okay, something like this. As we saw, this thing is rear engine, so we don't need a big grill here in the front. And I also want to keep it simple, of course. I'll choose our default number plate, the right texture, of course. And we see that this car is already a lot bigger than the original Rivetto. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Can I remove the glass from the bulbs? Yeah, I can try that. Just take it away. Yeah, I think that's actually really better. Good idea there. A 3D fixture for the bump in the headlight. Not sure about that. Ah, that's really tiny here. Don't know if we should look that closely. It's as small as it gets, and now it's clipping here already. Yeah. We already have some issues here. It's alright like this. Ah. Yeah, I think it's alright. So for today I want to get the basics right. I can still do a little bit of detailing afterwards, off stream basically, just to get something reasonable done in a reasonable time frame, which is realistic, and to make it, you also see what you can achieve in a certain time, and also making you aware that it just takes time to build something. So we will do a little bit of venting, of course, in the front for the brakes and things like that. So Rivetto style we use, and also very much Cisalpina style, we always use this kind of sausage grills. So let's do it here again. And then we need a different grill material here. As again, like always, I use I make a new paint, and then I use a mod. So you see I have many material mods here. By the way, in my other Let's Plays there's also a link to my mod collection. And SHD grill is really nice to get this pattern here. I like that one quite a bit. How do I come up with the names? Just googling a little bit. The logo was basically, I do that in Inkscape, just think of something. I deconstructed the Fuenian flag here. You can also see the apple here, directly copied from the flag. And the idea behind the brand was, so Cisalpina means on this side of the Alps, so it's near the mountains, but this company has a farming background, so I tried to imagine something that looks like a field, and then some mountains, and then put the rest on there. Just play around. This is also not something you come up with in 10 minutes, and you need to do many iterations until you're happy. So, and then here, what's important here for it to somewhat look right is that these lines somewhat match. It's probably a little bit wide still, but so it looks nicely balanced. You have something to mirror the headlights here on the bottom, and now I just need to find out how to add some kind of indicators, and that will be quite difficult, I think. Could also add indicators into a sausage grill. Yeah, ridiculous work. You just don't have to think of it as work. It's fun. It should be fun. I'm not just doing it for the YouTube monies, the 200 bucks I get from YouTube per month or something. It's not a very good hourly wage I get. It's below minimum wage, way below. But if your hobby pays a little bit, that's good. So, indicators, yeah, still. We need something, of course. We had these tear-shaped ones in the past, but I don't think they fit very well here. Can just try and slap something on and see what sticks. So this would be a solution we also had at some point. That might actually be one of the better locations, even though I like the car more without those. So put them in there. Round indicators maybe. Yeah, we can also put some round bits in the edges. Don't know. Somehow I think I liked the other ones more. This makes it a little bit more happy. We would need to make it a little bit more narrow to line up the edge here. Yeah, let's make it happy, right? Use these, move them inwards a little bit. Somewhat alright. It's okay, I just want to try. It's better in 3D, undistorted. Maybe. Also remove the chrome. Not 100% sure if it's better in 2D or 3D. Ah, that's the vent. I think we need a 2D. Okay. Just checking out chat again. Unfortunately, my chat window here, my overlay, you don't see that one, is pretty small and I cannot scroll, so sometimes I miss a few messages. Sorry for that. But I think that's almost the front done. We can... yeah, maybe it's already what I want to do with the front. Very basic, very simple. We need some window washers, of course, and some wipers at some point, but we'll do that later. For now, let's just add some mirrors. I think we're getting close enough to the 80s to use some kind of rectangular ones. Do they look period correct? What do you think? Driver side only. Is that much weight reduction important? Nah. Nah, I don't think so. Let's do it like this. Add some door handles. Also, again, these should look somewhat cheapish. So the best thing you could do is to go online and check out other cars, what they had from the era. I won't do that now. Is that good? Also not sure about the chrome. If we should already remove the chrome in general and make it plastic. Mount them above the door. Yeah, you mean? Normally they are on the door, but here in this case it might work better here. Maybe. Metal instead of chrome. For the mirrors, you mean? Or... So this one will have, I think, two. The coupe and the spider. Two should be enough. Yeah. The era of matte plastic. Matte plastic, I thought the same as well. And let's adjust the trim accordingly. Why is it? I still don't get why some fixtures only have normal plastic here, and why others have this kind of selection of matte plastic, glossy plastic. I just don't get that always. So this one then should be steel. I just pick it again, just in case for the beam export then. Okay. So then I want to copy that bumper. Move it to the rear. so that we have similar scale. That will help with the coherence of the overall design. But I also probably want to have it go almost all the way to the fenders. Don't know if we can make that look right, because we have to stretch it quite a bit. Yeah, it's tapering off a little bit there on the sides. Definitely need the more curved one. Not 100% happy. So from the rear perspective, from the contour here, we probably need. They are all not very good. And not ideal. 2D doesn't make a difference. So just not stretch it all the way, I think. And it's still alright. But I want to align it like this. Okay. These edges are too much. The 12% one. But we have the same problem in the front. Yeah, at least it's kind of similar in the front. And then I think it's alright. Rear bumper is to Porsche. But I think once we have the rear lights on there and it's different enough, then I think we don't have a big problem. Exhaust. Also, this will maybe already make a little bit of a difference. We have an inline 4. Probably it will also be like that later when I actually engineer the car. So probably basic pipe will do. Make it steel for now. Can push it in a little. Alright, and then number plate. Oval or round square lights. Yeah, definitely some kind of roundness is necessary to mirror what we have going here, but we could also try to mirror something like this. We have to check what's going on, but I first want to place the number plate because that's an easy one and will already help to space out the rest. Okay. I think that's all right. So then we have the rear engine. In the bigger cars we had separate intakes, like on the Nuova Via we had this very wide intake over the whole width of the car. I think we don't need that here for this small car. We don't need to force the engine, the air into the engine there. Just do some basic cooling here. 911 also didn't have it. Side intake. I don't think it really needs an intake. The 911s were more powerful and they also didn't have extra intakes. Just need to place something on there. Yeah, name of course is something also very important. So if you have any name suggestions, please place them in the chat or as a comment. I will take a look afterwards. I will not decide that today. Maybe we can also have a small poll again on the YouTube community section. But if you have any ideas, I don't have any idea yet. Just have my old, basically my old list where I collect all of your ideas. So let's work on the taillights. Those are important, and then on the venting here in the rear. So not make it look like a Porsche again. So anything that's like this is basically making it look like a Porsche, I think. Especially if it's a little bit smaller and so on. It's probably a bit too Porsche-like. Double round brake lights, rectangular blinkers on the bottom. I'd like to have the indicators on top, I think, but we can already get the indicators from the front to the rear. Didn't want to scale them. Come on, couldn't really grab it. Danger of Porsche-like, of course. This is too low, I think. It definitely would make sense to have something like a very narrow band here, and also shorten this bonnet, rear bonnet here a little bit. So this would be very basic round things. I think this era is over. Also, I don't know if I really like that these are so much extruded. Let's take a look here. Oh no, these are these 50s American things. This would be with a cover. Then we would the black is not good, of course. We do something like this and then add a patch. Decal patch. Also in matte plastic. And then think about something with the indicators. You need to start the rear from 0. Yeah. Maybe I agree. We really should have some kind of way to save a certain group of fixtures just to put it away and then add it on later. Just can do that for all of the fixtures to save them to a text file. Round lights, but more to the edges. So I definitely want to use this seam here as a separator. If I move the other one here, it's definitely more elegant like this, of course. But it looks cheaper if we do it like this. And more special. I kind of like this weird stuff a bit more. Question is just, is then the indicator also round? Vertically, oh no. Really? Interesting. Didn't think it would work that well. But maybe this could... No, the problem is just the body here. So... Because it deforms so much, I cannot place them towards the edges so far. So I would need to go for something like this. Just very rough. What if we color that in paint? Very smart, like yeah, in Fiat Coupe, yeah, exactly. It's just I'm just not sure if it's too early for that. We could do something like this maybe in the early 90s. Everybody says it's so much better. Okay, so let's try. What if we make this into an indicator? Or TVR vibes, yeah. Also, it's probably a bit too sophisticated. Suffers from being recessed, yeah. We could, of course, always remove that bit again. And put patches on top. That don't conform so much. I think the top one is a little bit too stretched vertically. Yeah, that's a bit bad. But in general it's better, I agree. Just need to align it properly. Question is just, what do we do with the trunk lid here, or the bonnet, because this needs to be, we need to access the engine from there to repair it. And we cannot put the lights further out vertically because here the body deforms too much. Cooler with the plastic. Let's try that again. Definitely looks a little cheaper, I agree. I need to think like an Italian. I don't know how an Italian thinks. Shrink the upper part. So you mean like vertically, I think. But then it really looks weird. Now it reset the paint again, materials. Definitely needs to move down a little bit because we have this kind of seam. Yeah, the Italian would use lights. Definitely we would also use some kind of mass production lights from some kind of car. That's definitely a good strategy. Should we just try this? Not sure about the bonnet anyway, but let's just try something out here. Let's see if it works, and then I take the sausage grill again just to see if that's a solution. So either align it to surface or to the horizon. Cheaper would be aligning it to surface. So let's just see if this is the way to go, or if we need to do something differently. Probably because of the boxy stuff there, we need to do something differently. This is just too round. I think this doesn't work. Sausage grills into taillights. So like thin strips or something. For the 80s I would like to do that. I'll try something else. So you can spend forever on redoing things. And so let's do central sausage grills here, and then clone them once more. Is this somewhat alright? We align them to the horizon, we need to scale them differently, so let's not do that. Okay, this doesn't want to align to the surface again. Eyeballing the distances here. And then let's clone that. Don't snap to angle. Just to see how this would work. Probably shouldn't have rotated them. On top is a little. Yeah, that's. I like it as well. Probably need to move it in a little bit. But I have no idea what to do with the taillights then. This would also be cheap, but also too much Diablo, maybe. Yeah. It makes the vents a bit smaller. Yeah, I will do that once I have once I know that I want to keep them. But for now I just first need to find some kind of light that I want to use. This would go against against the round stuff in general. Would work, but maybe not with these lights. Just to try it out, I will move the front lights to the rear and see if we can make something like this work in a scaled way. If you only need one light, then it would work, but the cover, of course, wouldn't work. No. This is really difficult. I don't think this works as well. What does it? Like this? Without the forget the vent for now. Futurismo headlights. Way too much chrome, of course. What do we think? And we could, again, we could remove these bits and put a patch on there to make it less indented. Not that, the normal patch I can use. Let's use the grill again. Oh, this should be the indicator on top. And this is the tail light and or brake light. There's an issue here with how this aligns, but in general. So I remove that stuff for now. Looks already better just with 3 lines, because then it's better aligned here, of course. But I think we need something different than the sausage wrench there. Okay, taillight's kind of small. So you mean just these ones? So we could exchange them. The upper ones, the way they conform, are bigger. So it probably would be more like this. And then to rotate that a little bit. Just have the issue here with the seam. Can hide it by moving down there, but I don't like it. Maybe we have to live with a little bit of imperfection here, even though it's hard. Yeah, handle for opening the hatch probably makes sense. To remove that one and then add something here. In case I stick to these. But let's now first try to make them a little bit smaller. Four is maybe a bit too much if you want to keep a little bit of buffer there on the lower end. Oh, I'm struggling a little bit with this one. The front started out so well. It's all wonky. Let's see. So, option number one. Remove that and put the ledge there. Or no. Redo everything and then remove them manually. And then try something different. Something more boxy. No, right? Can also do outline plastic. Yeah, would also make sense maybe, but they don't conform very well. I would need to line them up again with bumper bars, definitely. Could also just do that on top. Like this, and then single square grill. Yeah, it's not that easy. Normally I have a better idea already in my head because I tried different things out in advance, and then it's quite easy to build. For example, this pre-war race car I built. I already had something in my mind. I tried different concepts, and then it was pretty easy to do something. No, I don't like it. We could build something with these things. That it's rounded like this doesn't really help a lot. Don't snap. Yeah, I think maybe something like this can work. Three of these. And then we can add the badge there on bottom. It's definitely a bit weird. And then some kind of possibility to open it. Add more. We can still try, of course. Lid handle, I will work on that. I know that we need it. So that would be 5 now. Without thinking about the badge. Is that too much? Just 2? We can also delete them from the bottom. We do it like this. Shrink bottom to keep badge there. Don't know if I like that if I make these two more narrow. And put a badge there. Nah, I think that's too busy. We didn't build the engine yet. I don't do any engineering today. I just chose an old engine that we had. I will do the actual car engineering separately. Today it's just design time. And I have about 1 hour more I can spend on this. So we really have progressed already. Maybe for those who have joined later also. This is what we achieved so far. From the front it's quite happy. Not too much Porsche looking, which I like. From the rear I'm still struggling, and it's, if you take a look at the front and how clean it is, how empty it is, then I think this is definitely too much. So I'd actually go for something really simple. Maybe. Then I can add the door handle or the bonnet handle here somewhere. I will make it plastic, don't worry. It doesn't work like this. Need something more boxy. Just a key, just some kind of button, basically. I don't know if you really have a key where the engine is. I don't have that on my car. You normally also don't. If it's a front engine thing, you just have this kind of string that goes to open your bonnet, and maybe you have the same here. And we actually don't need a handle, and it just opens up a bit, and then you can grab below that. Maybe that's the way to go. Open from the top. Oof. I don't want to be the mechanic. So how did we scale it? 1.4. I just check if it's the same size as in the front. 1.47. We can make it a little larger. So I really think this is a lot better, right? SP2 grill under the bumper. What's the SP2 grill? The Beetle has a keyhole. Okay, then we'll add a keyhole. The Beetle had one. SP2 is, do you mean this kind of VW thing? I'm not sure right now. Something like this. Could be all right. So then let's continue. I think I'm pretty happy with the rear like this. What I want to try out first before I leave it is one more thing, just in case. No, that's the wrong one. I need to use the decal patch. I just want to see if it would make sense to paint something in plastic here. Something is not... cutouts didn't really work. So I probably won't do it. I don't want to fix those things. It's nice that you cannot undo any material choices. So one last thing, again 2 or 3, and then I leave it like this, and then we will add the reversing lights and some reflectors. So that's the 3 version. What do you mean, 3 or 2? Now of course it reverted. Hench Prophet says 3, Alpha Space says 2. Hench Prophet, what was your score in the design vote? I need to know if I should trust you. 3. So a small tendency towards the 3. 4. Hi Andrea, good to see you. Or is it the 4 with the exclamation mark is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, right? That's 24. Yeah. 3, 3, 3, 999, 7. Ah, let's try 3 again. So 3 would make more sense than 2 because of this will be raised as well on track a little bit. It should at least do something or be able to do something on the track. So with the 3, I'm not sure about the badge. Like this. 3 on one side, 2 on the other. No, never. Too much going on. The Rivetto had, I think, a stack of 4 or 5. For now, I think I will leave it like this. I hope you don't hate me. And now I need some reflectors and reversing lights, and maybe we can add some kind of auxiliary lights in 3D. Just need to find what I'm looking for. So something that does not conform to the body. Yeah, I want to... Today I'd say that the chat helped definitely a little bit to decide. Normally I take much longer doing things because I try more things. How does this one look in 3D? Could actually work if we can fit it on somewhere. Maybe this one. I'm not sure about it though. Just still looking. I had something in my head that we had some rectangular pieces that could really work as a 3D fixture. But I don't remember in which section it was. I think it's this one. No. Yeah, single. I'd also say a single red one and a single white one. That's what I wanted to go for. Just cannot find what I wanted. This is like this. This could be it. And though it's a license plate light. Oh no, that's really license plate light. We don't need that yet. I think maybe it's a headlight. Yeah, could be. Ah, yeah. I think that's the one I was looking for. And then I will just stick 2 bolts in there, I think. So let me think. Normally you have this fog light. I think when you have right-hand side traffic, you have the fog light on the left side. if I'm not mistaken. Normally you also should have some kind of reflector on there, but when were fog lights mandatory? Does anybody know? Attach the lights to a bumper, yeah, maybe. Does anybody know when fog lights were mandatory? '90s. So we don't need a fog light, we need a reflector, right? Also depends, of course, on country. I don't think we need a fog light. It's probably not a good thing that I angled them. Still a little bit too big. What do you think? Reverse lights mandatory 1960s. For which country? I would assume it was not mandatory in Europe, I think, but I'm not sure. We have something that looks less pink. It's all pretty bright. Yeah, let's leave it like this. Okay, then we have this. Also, you might have noticed that I didn't do any kind of body molding this time, so no real difficult things. I just want to keep the shapes very simple. Also, I don't think we need an indicator here on the side. This should be a really basic car. I'm thinking about maybe a black strip at the bottom, or something. Not a black strip, but maybe some kind of seam for the body. I will choose a bumper for that. So basically what you have seen also on the old Mini or something, where things have been welded together basically. Just to give it a little bit more depth here, keep it less flat. That's too much still. Just a tiny bit. Like this. I don't know if it's the perfect fixture though, because we have quite a bit of roundness going on there. Which one did I choose? This is too round, yeah. Let's choose a boxy one. This should be better. Alright, then we need fuel, of course. I was thinking about a front fuel tank for weight balance reasons, of course. The G2 had very race car-like something here. I will not do that for this. We have grown up a little bit and probably need something like this. maybe. I'm also not a fan of this very angular bonnet, so I would have preferred something more rounded. Don't know if I can get that away. Hey Ecolotl, thank you very much for the donation. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing my best to keep it going. Super chats are coming in today like crazy. First 2 super chats. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but typically they pop out quite nicely with a different color. Body molding, seam kit, and base tiny, 90 degrees. There it is. So I like this a lot more, even though we get some small problems, of course, but I think I will go with it and then cover up the rest. Triangle should be right. It conforms as well a little bit. It's not ideal. Aren't there flat edges which are not conforming? Single axis, is this the right one? Flat cut out. I don't want to cut out. It's probably... Sometimes I like a little bit the experience which fixtures are the best for the job, and I have 2000 hours or something in the game, so I don't know how any of the beginners should be able to do something here if they don't know which fixtures are used in a certain way. Okay, I will not bore you now with any more seam work. It's hard to stop it there, but if you go further away, it's much better. Okay. Then some window washers at least. Some basics. I will place them behind, which is basically the trunk. And then add some wipers. Normally I use the vanilla wipers, and normally I use these ones, the classic ones, and I always have problems fitting them. Yeah, the seam work to go around the headlights. Maybe when I clean up the build off stream, maybe I do it. I think it would make sense to go around here, or maybe even go do a seam here, but I don't want to bore you with that today. Wipers, does anybody have any idea how to make those better? I always struggle. 3D mode is also not ideal. I never know where to place the mountings. Basically, I can put them into the glass, of course. And if I use 3D, then the Viper is bad anyway. If I use 2D, then it's a bit weird here. So Now it's completely weird. Like this, it at least looks okay on the shield, windshield. And then plastic all the way. Yeah. Okay, on some fixtures going to 3D and back to 2D. Sometimes, yeah, I noticed that as well, that some fixtures do that, but it's so hard to reproduce for me that I never planned on actually doing it. I think it's good enough. Okay. So that's the very basics for now. I see that we need to mirror this one, that we get it here. We also had earlier single wiper in the middle. Yeah, is always also easier. Yeah, let's do it. I think I like the idea for this small car, light car. But then we also need only one of these nozzles, right? Hope it will be able to point above the mounting, but I say it's alright. Side vents, we can try it out. What I want to try out today, I think for the last half hour, is a little bit of a lip, a spoiler, and bye bye Seaman, thanks for joining in. I want to do the lip, and we can check if vents make sense. Although I'm skeptical. Both nozzles, but would you really do that on a single wiper? Yeah, I like it how it looked. I liked it more like this. It's luxury. That's 20 grams more. Yeah, let's keep it. So the spoiler is more important to me. I'm not very experienced with these kinds of fixtures, so I first need to take a look at how they actually look like. Yeah, something like this is definitely too modern. Definitely need something more ducktail-like. And also keep it only to the rear. To the center bit, I mean, not of course to the rear. Not sure, really not sure. Yeah, 20 euros more expensive on the window cleaners, yeah. I agree. So I don't know if we have a very good fixture to make some kind of ducktail like the Porsche's had. I would like to try it out, but all of these fixtures are a little bit weird. I'm trying a lip. It's all very much horizontal, and I would need something to swoop up here. I cannot use 3D because the rear is so rounded. I'm not sure. It's probably a bit too much. Also now that I look at it, I'm slightly skeptical. I think it's right for 1973. I'm not sure if it's right for 1978 when it comes onto the market. But I also don't want to change it all over again. Move the spoiler up higher. Let's test it up here. I think if I move it there, then I need more venting because it looks weird, unbalanced. So let's open up that problem again. Small wing on the lip so that it moves up, yeah. Maybe these kind of angled elements. Do they work? How do they work? Okay, this is angled like this, so we need the straight elements. Yeah, the body is already curved downwards too much. It only fits on there and it's not bent, so I need curved elements. Forward curve. No, not forward, but rearward curve. And 3D, so that we can move it wherever we want to have it.